I'm Me Mom. Welcome to Me Mom's Kitchen. Today we'll be cooking spare ribs that I have marinating in wine and balsamic vinegar. We're going to be making an orange pound cake with an orange glaze. We're also going to be cooking pasta in a garlic butter sauce. And we're going to top that off with some string beans with onions, bacon, and potatoes. So let's get started with our spare ribs, which I have marinating in this wine and balsamic vinegar. We're going to take this out of the bag, we're going to dry it off, and then we're going to put our dry rub on it. So, let me get my pan here that we're going to be putting it in. And I just want to take out pieces of the spare ribs and dry them off, and then we're going to I'm going to sit this here. I'm going to sit the spare ribs right on top of this paper towel. And see how they've been marinating for about a couple hours now in the wine and the vinegar. And then we're going to pat it dry, and then we're going to put our dry rub on it. So, it's okay if you don't get all of the marinade all in it. Take and put your dry rub on top, and then it's just going to make it stick, your dry rub stick to it a little bit more. These are big pieces of ribs of this that I use my rag and wipe this stuff off. Now, we're going to put the dry rub on, which I have my own special blend of dry rub. So, I'm going to sprinkle this on, then I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to put it in the oven. So, let's get started. You know, you got to get in with your meat, put that extra love and care in it, you know, so it'll be really, really good, see? And then, so like you hear me, I like to cook with music, so you see me bouncing around. Don't pay that no mind, because me mom just likes to dance around while she cooks. So, it ain't gonna hurt. Just a little extra love in your meat as you're cooking. And don't be scared to put the dry rub on, because it's never going to hurt. And then you just want to rub it into your meat. Make sure you get it in there real good. You know, you're going to wash my hands, because after that comes out and it gets done, you're going to put your barbecue sauce on there when it gets done, and then you're going to cut them up, everything. So we're going to put in we're going to cover it up, and I'm going to just add just a very, just a little bit of water. Not a lot. I know I just said you don't have to put none in, but you want to steam them first. And then once you steam them, then you're going to take them out, you're going to dump all the juice that they have, and then you're going to turn up your oven, because it's going to take a couple hours to cook. We're going to cook them on 350. So I'm going to put them in the oven on 350, let them cook for a while, for about the first hour on 350, and then I'm going to take the foil off, turn the oven up to about 450, and let them cook for another hour. So let's put these in the oven. Okay, we're going to let that cook for an hour on 350 for the first hour, and then we're going to take the foil off, like I said, and let it cook again on 450 for the next hour until it gets done. Now we're going to go into making our orange cake. First, we're going to cream the butter. I have 2 sticks of butter in here. We're going to cream that. Then once I cream we're mixing our flour into our cake batter. We put our orange zest in, and we also added our orange juice from a freshly squeezed orange. And we got one more thing to add. We're going to add some vanilla, because without the vanilla, this orange is not going to come out. So you need the vanilla to help bring the orange flavor out. You don't want to pour a lot of vanilla in. You only need about, not even quite a teaspoon full of vanilla. So that's, this is plastic is still on the cat. I want to be able to put my cat back in when I get done. So you can say, if you're not good in the ironing, if you don't have no teaspoons, just take your vanilla and pour it into your cat. And that should be just enough. If you don't think so, then you just add a little bit more. But to me, that would have been enough. So be careful not to throw your top back into your vanilla. Into your cake batter. Now we're going to blend this vanilla into your cake batter. And your batter is going to get a little thick as you blend this together. That's okay. You don't want it real thin. And you don't want it real thick. So that's about it. Don't want to splatter it all over. Usually my grandkids would be over here and they would lick the beaters for me. But this is how it would look once it's done. Make sure you get all the sides and it's well blended. See the thickness of it, and you can see, if you can see, the bits of the orange zest that's running all through the cake, which is good. We're going to pour this. I have already a pan here. If you don't, my pan is a pan that you don't have to glaze or anything. You don't have to flour or sugar or nothing. But you can spray with some pan if you like. But if not, if you don't have this type of pan, then you have to grease your pan and then flour. Make sure you get it all over. This way your cake won't stick. But in this type of pan, it's not supposed to stick. We're going to see, because I know the first time I used it, it didn't stick. This is going to be the second time that I used this pan. So we're going to pour our cake batter into this pan. Then we're going to put it in the oven. We can put it right along with our ribs. And we're going to bake this in the oven on 350 for about an hour and a half. And then this cake should be nice and rise real nicely, you see. And you see how I have this up in the air, giving that ribbon effect, because I want it to come out even. So you want to make sure you get your batter all around your pan evenly. You know, between my husband and my grandkids, they're the one that usually eat all my batter. My husband always tell me, save me some batter in your pan. Save me some batter, because he loves to eat my cake batter. So I don't know who's worse, my husband or my grandkids, because I have to save them both some of the batter. I'm going to spin this around, and I spin this around like this so I can make sure it's even. And when it rises, it's going to rise even. And by me cooking it on 350, it's going to crack some, and then all that sugar it's going to be so good. And then you're going to let it cool, and then you're going to make a glaze, an orange glaze that's going to go on the top of it. So now we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to come back and check it in an hour and 25 minutes to an hour and 35 minutes. And if it's done and ready to come out, we'll pull it out. So I'll put it in the oven, and then we're gonna check this, like I said, in an hour and 25 minutes. Okay, it's been an hour and 25 minutes. We're gonna check on the cake and see how it's doing, and check on the ribs also. So, let's check cake. Ooh, the cake is nice and brown. If you don't know how to, you can test it this way by seeing if it's done, or you can insert a toothpick or, cake inserter into the cake. I don't want to put no holes in it yet. And if it comes out clear, then you know your cake is done. So let me let you see how this cake looks. We're going to let it cool in the pan. Can you see that? We're going to let it cool here in the pan for about maybe 10 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to let it finish cooling another 5 minutes. And then we're going to take and put it on a rack and then let it cool the rest of the way before we glaze it. So I'm going to sit this cake right over here and just let it cool while we check on our ribs. And don't forget, we said the ribs will have to cook for a couple hours. So we're going to check on that and see if they made any juices. And if they did, we're going to pour the juices. I said we were going to uncover it and let it cook for another hour uncovered. So we're going to check to see if it has any juices, and if it does, we're going to pour those juices off and let it finish cooking uncovered for another hour. And how we know the hour has been by, because we know the cake was in the oven for an hour and 35 minutes. So it's a little over the hour, which is fine. Oh, let me pull this completely out because it'll be easy for me to handle. And we can always put it back in. Let's put this away here and check this and see how it's doing. Okay. This here, I'm going to tear the full off anyway. Oh, this looks good. So we'll put it back in the oven so it can finish cooking. And then we'll let it finish cooking because it's getting nice and tender. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to flip them over. Can you see that? See, they're getting nice and tender. But we also want them to get a little brown, a little bit more browner than what they were. It doesn't have that much juice in there, so which is a good thing, because it's about falling apart. It's so fork tender. Did you see that? That tastes so good. We're going to turn it over, and then in the meantime, while I let this brown a little bit more in the oven, I'm going to get my barbecue sauce ready for our rib, and we're going to put this back in the oven, and then we're going to start on our pasta. I'm going to get that on. I'm putting these back in the oven for a few. While they're cooking, I'm going to start on our pasta, and then I'm going to start our potatoes and our French string beans, but we're going to put the pasta in. Like I said, we're going to start our pasta, but I have water already in the pot, and I'm going to put that on and get that started, and we're going to salt the water, which I'm going to use sea salt. We're going to put some salt in the water so that it can start boiling. Sometimes you can let your water boil first and then put the salt in. But I like to put the salt in now, and because the salt will help the water boil a little faster. So shake you a couple, It's like a half a teaspoon of salt into your water so that you can start your pasta. Your water boiling for your pasta, not start your pasta. That's start your water started for your pasta. And in here, so we can start basting our ribs with our barbecue sauce. Then, after that, we're going to I'm going to have to get a frying pan out for my, oh no I don't, here's my frying pan. This frying pan here I have for our butter garlic sauce for our pasta. Then we need the pot for our French style string beans. Those string beans are in the can, which doesn't make a difference because now since it's colder, it's hard to get fresh string beans. They're not as good as it was if you get Jersey string beans. Of course, I'm in Jersey, and Jersey makes the best vegetables. We grow the best here. So I'm going to use can, and we're going to get that going. Put that in the pot. We're going to peel our potatoes, put our onions in, and then we're going to get that started. Let me go over and get the pot for my string beans. I know you hear the guy rapping on the radio, which is one of, he's a nice guy, and I told him I would play his rap tape on my show. So you might hear me talking, and you also might hear him talking. But that's okay. His song is called This Is My Life. And it's really a nice song because he's talking about his life and the things that he wants to do. He's not going to do things for somebody else because somebody else wants to do it. And this is basically like what we all are doing. This is our life. So now, let me open up our can of string beans and get that started in the pot. We're going to put them in. Before I put them in, but I'm going to have to cut up my bacon because I have to fry my bacon for my string beans. So we're going to cut this up. I'm going to put it on the cutting board, get my knife out, and we're going to slice up our bacon. You want it sliced not in too small of pieces, but it doesn't make a difference because you're going to leave it in your string beans anyway. So you just want to cut a nice size. Sometimes I cut them a little smaller, and then sometimes I don't. See, this is going to help your bacon for your string beans because all of this is going to help season your string beans. So while you're rendering your bacon, you can open your cans of your string beans, and you're also going to put an onion beat on that song. It's a very nice, smooth and beat. Like I said, me mama loves to bounce. She loves to dance. She loves music. So you see me cooking and bouncing. Bounce, bounce. Get it going. Get on down. Bring it back on up. Get food going. Have some tasty, tasty food. Like you loving that music? That means me mom, she burning up some food. And when she say burning up, she means burning in a good way. So I'm rendering the bacon here, getting this fat out of my bacon. While that's doing that, I'm going to slice all the good food that me mom is cooking, okay? Our bacon is looking good here. And as soon as that finishes up, we'll put everything together. All right, I'm also going to put, like I told you, a couple of potatoes in half. It sticks to the knife. So cut it before you start. Let's see if this water is boiling for our pasta. Yes, the water is boiling for our pasta. We're going to pour the pasta into our pot. Because I told you I'm going to be making a pasta with a garlic and butter sauce, which is really excellent. Oh my God, if you can smell the food in here, it's amazing. The smells, it is so good. Your onions, your salt, pepper, you want all of that to get into your bacon. We're gonna just put a little chop, just find some, they don't have to be real big, real fine. That's big enough. We're gonna put them in a pot, right along with the onions. You'll probably hear all of that sizzling and all that good cooking that we're doing here. Smell it. Smell it. You can smell the bacon, smell the onions. Oh, it smells so good. While that's going, let me Mom take and check her pasta. I know you figure bacon has salt and that should be enough. No, it's not. Because really your bacon is not that salty. Once you mix your water and everything in it, it takes the flavor out. So we're going to add a little bit of salt. And we're going to add some black pepper. Then after this, we're going to check on our ribs. Can you hear that song, This Is My Life? I can just play that over and over and over. Because I really like that song, because I look at my life. This is my life. And this is what I like to do. Mima loves to cook. So, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to just melt the butter down, put some garlic in it, and then I'm going to, you see I have tomatoes, and I'm going to drop a few tomatoes into the garlic, and then when the pasta gets done, I'm going to put all those flavors together. Meantime, before I start that, let me check on our ribs, and we can start putting our barbecue sauce on top of our ribs. Oh, that looks so good. And this here meat. Oh, yes. It's time to start putting. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to move this, set this here, because I want to baste these with some barbecue sauce before, let me find a little brush that I have to paint mine. Put that little brush, here I go. Paint my barbecue sauce onto the meat. And you just want to put enough on just to give it a little flavor. And then you can for people who don't like a lot of barbecue sauce, that's why I say you just dust a little bit on to give it some flavor. Then after that, you can always save the rest of the barbecue sauce for ones who do like it, and they can just re-dip it and give themselves more. You just take them completely out, cut them up, plate them up, and put more barbecue sauce on them. Now our pasta, you want this pasta to be dante, but you don't want it to cook too done. You just want it to cook done enough. Now here's the problem, sit this barbecue sauce over here. Then I'm going to start on our butter garlic sauce, which is nothing but butter and garlic with a few tomatoes. The tomato, I'm going to rinse off a handful of tomatoes, probably not even a handful. I'm going to rinse them off, and then I'm going to slice them in half, and they're going to go into the butter and the garlic. So, the butter with the garlic. And all of this is going to add extra flavor, because when you put these tomatoes into your sauce, it's gonna make it just a little bit more sweeter than what they are. This strainer here. This is not the regular pasta strainer, you guys, but I'm gonna use it anyway because it's closer to me. And once you strain your pasta, never, ever, 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 ever rinse it off. You just strain it, and that's it. You don't rinse your pasta in cold water. You don't rinse it in warm water. You don't rinse it at all, because when you rinse it, you take the starch off. Take the starch off, you won't have any good pasta. Well, you really would have good pasta. It just would take your sauce, won't like stick to the pasta the way you want it to. Oh, one more thing, but in this butter sauce, this garlic and butter sauce, I want to put a little bit of white wine, which I forgot it's in my pantry, so I'm going to have to keep my white wine when I'm ready for it. But I want to melt down the butter. I have to use my little tiny knife that is really sharp. But then I'm going to have to get out another knife because I have to do my garlic to go in with all of this. And then I have to get my white wine that I'm going to put in. Be careful when you're slicing your tomatoes because you do not want to cut your fingers. And you don't want to put too much pressure on them because you don't want to squeeze the juice out of them. Some of them might be too big. This one is overripe. Might be a little no good knife because I'm going to have to cut up our garlic. And Mima would have a knife. It's like, hey, Mima, she loves, like I said, she loves to cook. She loves to dance around in the kitchen. Why she cook? So like I always tell you, when you see me bouncing, it's me, Mom, and her cooking. Loves to cook. Loves to bounce around in the kitchen. You can dice them any old kind of way. You just want to make sure they're nice small pieces. And you want to make sure that the garlic press will bring them right out. But if you don't have a garlic press, you have to do it the best way you can. You know, that would make it easier for you. It's called a butter garlic sauce. And you're gonna, after it gets done, you're just gonna like add a little bit of white wine to it to pick up that flavor. You don't want to add your tomatoes, the garlic in the butter. We're gonna let that cook down some so that butter can take the flavor on of your garlic. And once that gets done, you're going to add your salt and some pepper to it and marry all those flavors. Okay, we done have our garlic been cooking in our butter. So now we're going to add the tomatoes to it. Be careful about how you put them down because you don't want to splash yourself with the garlic and the butter. We're going to add we added a little salt, or we're going to add some more, just a little bit more salt, bring it out. And we're going to add some black pepper to this. Then we're going to let those tomatoes cook for about maybe 5 minutes. Then we're going to add some white wine, about maybe 1/4 cup of white wine. Meanwhile, while this is cooking, let's take our ribs out and see what they look like. Ribs. Oh my goodness, they look good. That's there. Then we're going to add a little more sauce on top of them. And your ribs are really, really like that, make it look pretty. And these are your ribs. Here. Let it. Before we drop me some little lemon juice into this, then we're going to put our pasta back into, rub this lemon a little. And just You want to cut it just enough to squeeze some juice into your mixture. Your pasta back in. So you're going to turn it off because your pasta is already Dante, and it's going to finish. Take this out. We're going to place this up on our plate here. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Tell me, look at those tomatoes. Look at them. That pasta, this wine sauce, the garlic. That looks lovely. Doesn't that look good? Now we just have to check on our string beans. Check our string beans. Make sure they can be done as soon as your potatoes are softened enough. So give it about another 5 minutes, and these potatoes will be done. We'll be ready to plate that up. Meantime, me mom's gonna get her cake pan out. Before I do that, I'm gonna make up the sauce for the cake, which is nothing but a glaze. It's a butter and sugar glaze with a little bit of milk. So, powdered sugar, butter, and some days I just play music all day long. And then my husband said, "You ain't tired of music?" No. You only need a little of the orange juice in here because, oops, you want to add a little bit of milk. If you like. First I have to taste it. If it tastes good, I don't add milk. If it doesn't taste the way that I want it to taste, then I'll add some milk. Because you want it to taste like oranges. Taste here. See, I got a couple seeds in here. That's why I tell you, you have to be careful on how you squeeze, when you squeeze your your oranges, because some oranges do have seeds and some oranges don't. Then you'll get seeds all in your icing, which is not going to hurt you. I mean, you'll see them when you go to pour them down. Okay, I'm going to get my cake pan way up here to the top here for my cake. Wipe it down. And then we're going to, while I was at the cabinet, I should have got the dish for the string beans, but you know what? I'm going to put just a little bit of string beans in a small dish. That's all I want to do, and then do it that way. But meantime, I want to show you, see where I had cut part of the cake off, so you can see what it looks like in the inside, but that's okay. Then I'm just going to drizzle this here orange glaze around the cake, and just let it fall over the side like this. And you just keep drizzling it until it just, you use it up, that's all. That's all you have to do. And that's why it's called an orange glaze, because you made your glaze out of orange juice from a freshly squeezed orange. Now, voila! There you go. That's that. I'm gonna get this over here to the side. I'm gonna move this out the way. Me mom is gonna clean off of her counter. And then we're going to get those string beans out of the pot and let you see some of them, how they turned out, and then we'll be ready to plate up. Like I said, it's hot in your mom's kitchen. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put what it looks like. Here you have it. French style string bean cake, our ribs, and you have our butter garlic sauce. Oh, and on the orange glaze, I do still want to sprinkle a little bit of more orange zest on top of it. It's just nothing but the grated of the oranges. I want to sprinkle that on the top as well. Now we're going to plate, and me, Mom, is ready to get down. Mom's ready to get down with her food. Get a couple tomatoes in there. Make sure I get some tomatoes. And then those string beans. Isn't that nice? A whole full plate. You have your ribs, you have your garlic, and butter, and wine with tomato sauce over your pasta, and you have your onions, your bacon, and your potato, French style string beans. So then you add a little bit more barbecue sauce on there. And I hope you enjoyed when I showed you how to cook today. And that you will cook some of these recipes that I have shown you. I'm going to just slice this cake so you can see how the inside looks. And I'm just going to slice it and sit it on the top of the cake so you can see it. Because the top of it will crumble, and that's what you want. See how that looks on the inside? You want to put it inside, be careful. See how that looks on the inside? That's how you want it to look, nice and crumbling like that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the show here today, where I showed you how to cook. And I hope you try some of these recipes. But while you're looking, me, Mom, is getting ready to start tasting. See ya. Mm.